Namaste and welcome. In this sequence, I will go through the osteoporosis variations modifications for the poses in Lauren Fissman's first sequence, the one that he tested and researched. So off we go, tree pose, using a wall and a chair. Now the wall is here, so I am not gonna fall. The actions of mountain pose are still very much apart. Hug the outer hip in, ground through the four corners of the foot, and maybe use the walls. You can lean against it, because the action that we are really keen on is the hugging in around the hip with good alignment front to back, as we've talked about in class. And here, as you practice, you may find that you can begin to experiment with taking your body away from the wall. How long? Somewhere between 30 seconds and 72 seconds. Don't overdo it. In many of these poses, the right amount is the right amount for you. So again, as you switch to the other side, standing with your back against the wall, and I'll turn from the side as you sit up, and then taking care that head over shoulder, over hip, over ankle. So you're neither leaning forward or back, nor rounding the upper chest. This balance, this posture that we did in our first class with the heel, sacrum, shoulder blades, and the back of the head on the wall, that gives us that perfect alignment where our body works better and our bones are happier. Same thing again. Let's take another 2 breaths, belly breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Second pose is triangle pose. And I'm going to start on the side where the chair is. No sense to make it harder than it has to be. Step the feet about 3.5 feet apart, a leg length. Wall is still here for my support, arms out to the sides. Elongate the side and take your hand to the chair. Maybe the top hand to the hip. Breathing in, breathing out. In and out. The wall is here. Leaning up against it, again, will give you some information about sacrum, shoulders, and the back of the head. To come out from this pose, bend the knee, pushing up. And now let us move the chair to the other side. And same thing again. Stepping the feet wide apart. So you can take a triangle break anytime throughout the day. Lengthen, hand to the chair seat, maybe the top hand to the sky, maybe to the hip. Remember, don't overdo it. Breathing in and out. If you're finding you're rounding the spine to come to the chair, use the back of the chair seat, reaching out longer. So I'm not comprising the alignment of the spine to get the hand down on the chair. Easy breath in and out. And when you're ready to come out, bend the knee a little bit and then push and slide up. Toe heel, toe heel, toe heel, stepping the feet together. Whether you are doing the sequence or you are just taking a little yoga snack throughout the day, these are phenomenal. Moving along, number 3 is warrior. And we are support in the chair. And here, taking so that you have the chair in front. Take the right leg over the chair seat and hands on the chair. I can adjust my back leg. If this feels a little intense, adjusting the leg, take it slightly out in front. Now press the four corners of the feet into the floor and then rising up through the spine, broadening the collarbones. Breathe in and out. Doesn't have to be hard. It just has to get done for it to work. And we are going to switch to the other side, doing the slider. Take my other leg back, tush on the chair. So my thigh is completely supported on the chair. Four corners of the feet pressing down. Big toe mount, little toe mount, inner and outer heel. And I can use the chair back to facilitate the lifting upward. Lift your inner light, drawing the shoulder blades down the back. Breathing in and out. In and out. See how easy this is? And we're going to return to center. And we're going to take the chair and move it in the opposite direction. In this modification, you may also like better for warrior one. Now this time, sitting in the chair and taking, again, the thigh right along the edge of the chair seat. Stretch the other leg back. This is my left leg. Right leg is in front. For side angle pose, taking your form to the inner thigh, lengthen up through the front spine, and then take the arm overhead. So we're creating a straight line from outer heel to fingertips. Outer heel to fingertips. My legs are super active. My leg is pressing into my arm, arm pressing into my leg, and it can help me get a little bit more rotation. If the shoulder is not loving being up, let's take it down to the hip. I'm maintaining the same length. And then from here, we can do warrior two here. So that was the pose we just did. Breathing in and out, but a little less support to maintain the lifting up of the front spine. And we'll switch to the other side for side angle pose. Leg goes back. So we have this idea that if it's a lot of prop, then the pose is not good enough. In many ways, this pose is better than the full pose because we get super alignment and protection. So forearm to the inner thigh to forearm. And again, let's reach and press down through the feet, take the arm up overhead. And then get as long as you can in the side body, reaching, lengthening, and pressing the feet down, pressing the feet down. In and out. And we'll take the arms down. Remember, if it feels better on your shoulder to have the arm down, that's where it goes. And again here, boom, warrior two. If that feels that you can maintain the lift up through the front spine, then do it here. And we'll move on to pose number. Get my numbers straight here. Triangle pose, we did that. Revolve triangle, number 5. Super easy. We're gonna use the chair again. I'm gonna stand in mountain pose, good posture. And then take the leg towards the wall up, taking care that you're not leaning forward as you do that, that you stand straight up. I got the wall right here for support, taking the opposite hand to the knee, and then gently beginning to twist. With each inhalation, I lengthen up through the crown of the head. I'm just gonna slide my arm back for support. As I exhale, use the muscles both around the hip hugging in and then around the spine and the trunk to facilitate the twist. We lengthen as we inhale. And we exhale, we twist. Use the muscles, not the levers of the wall. And we'll do it one more time. And we slowly return back to center. Step down, take your time, not in a rush, that's when we get in trouble. And let's travel to the other side. Wall leg on the chair. Opposite hand to outer knee. Now this hand could also come onto the wall. So you are allowed to experiment. Again, just don't use your hands for pushing and pulling. We're gonna inhale, we're gonna lengthen up through the crown of the head, really ground down through your standing leg. And as you exhale, facilitate. Is there some twisting to be had? We inhale, we lift, 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 lift. And exhale, deepen. And again. Deepen. And slowly come back to center. If you know your balance is a little unsteady, keep using the wall for support as you step down. Not getting hurt. Next pose, Shalabhasana. So now we're moving to the floor. I'm going to adjust the camera angle so that you can see me a little bit better. See if I can do that. There. Locust pose. Coming onto your abdomen. And for the first variation, no feet, hands by the side, chest. And as you inhale, lifting the heart, lift the head, and holding as long as it's available. Shoulder blades are drawing together on the back body. Breathing in and out. Strengthening the spine. And let's slowly lower down. And from here, let's come onto our back body. For bridge pose. So for bridge pose, lift the hip. Not a big all out hip. You can slide a blanket, a block under the hips here. We get a little bit of back bend in the upper back for the kyphosis. How long should you hold it? As long as you can. And then slowly come down. Now you can, of course, always add more, holding as long as you can. Come down. If you feel that went way short of your 72-second mark, do several. Hold them as long as you can, and eventually you will for sure be able to hold it for the 72 seconds. So here, to my horror, I realized I took my strap and put it over there. So don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. So our next pose is our hamstring stretches. So let's start with our knees bent. And then I say that, This one here is the one that we're going to do in a chair in osteoporosis. Thank you for catching that. So sitting forward, and the reason that if there is severe osteoporosis of the hip joint, when we take the legs, especially out to the side, that can potentially break the femur head. We don't want that. So sitting in a chair, I can take the leg out and you can lean back if you would like. So I know you may think, well, what does that do? What it does is every time you straighten the knee, you're actually strengthening your thigh, your quadricep. Strong thighs, strong legs. So you can hold it either in a static stretch or bending and straightening. And we'll go right to the second part, which is taking the leg out to the side. So see, I have my thigh bone resting on the chair seat. So that vulnerable part is protected right up at the neck of the thigh bone. Breathing in and breathing out. So what would the measurement be? Minus 2.5, you're considered osteoporosis. That's right at the beginning. So, okay to do the osteopenia? Maybe, probably. We'll come back to center. We'll switch to the other side. However, it is better to be safe than sorry. The sequence here is intended to protect from fracture. So again, if the hamstrings are a little tight, lean back for the chair back. Letting your thigh rest on the edge of the chair seat. And I can bend and straighten. That's perfectly fine. Not everybody is crazy about coming down on the floor. We don't have to. Tell them that. You can do everything you need to do seated in a chair. We start where we start. And we'll take it out to number 9. Again, my thigh bone is on the chair seat. I can hold on to the chair. And here I'm safe. The weight of my leg will not cause my thigh bone to fracture. Breathing in and breathing out. And we'll take the leg back to center and release it down. Now, number 10, we already did that. That's our standing twist. Number 11, also a twist. So let me repeat, or let me demonstrate. Number 11, sitting sideways on a chair. I have the handles just like I did in Warrior 2. Feet are hip width apart, hands on the chair. Inhale, lifting up, and gently press the hands down to facilitate the lifting of my spine, especially my inner light, the heart center. And as I exhale, I begin to twist, using muscles to twist. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, deepen. Exploring the twist, one breath at a time. Peeking down at your knees. Are they still side by side? Or did one slide out in front? You go nay, nay, nay. Maybe a little bit, but not a lot or a bit. And take one more breath. And we'll slowly come back to center. And we'll switch to the other side. And when we do the other side, I will actually sit so you can see my back, my legs a little bit better. So sitting sideways, using the chair to create the lifting up. And as you exhale, twisting, not using my hands for leverage for the twisting, only for the extension upward of my spine. Lifting, deepening. Lifting, deepening. And notice again the knees, is there a slider? Or keep the thigh bones side by side. And then slowly exhale back to center. And that was that. Our last pose, not in here, well, it was on the bottom of the sheet. Downward facing dog. You can use the chair. It is nice to stretch the spine out after a twist, which then gets us to Shavasana. And if you have a comfortable chair handy, you may like to recline with your legs elevated on the chair. In Shavasana, we can let everything relax. I recommend you stay for at least 3 minutes, which would be about, with the heart rate variability breath of about 6 breaths a minute, about somewhere between 18 and 20 breaths. You can always place your hands on your lower abdomen. It's a little feedback that you are indeed using the diaphragm for breathing. And when you're ready to come up, taking the knees towards your chest, hugging them in, rocking from side to side, rolling all the way over onto one side, pausing for a moment, and pushing up into a comfortable seated posture. Really, how easy was that? Thank you for letting me share these powerful poses with you. Namaste.